All right, guys, welcome back to another video on the official MLB Innings YouTube channel. I'm your host, JayFish, and I'm joined by a special guest today, Dylan Cease of the Chicago White Sox. How are we doing today, Dylan?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. And how's the offseason going so far? What you been doing?
Yeah, it's good. Whole lot of relaxing. A little bit of disc golf. One of my buddies recently got me into cigars, so I've kind of been going down that rabbit hole. So just trying to stay busy.
All right, and real quick before we get into some of our rapid fire questions and stuff, I want to ask, what does your off season look like? Obviously, you said you're relaxing and stuff, but when do you start getting back into everything and prepping for the next season?
Yeah, I'm pretty close to getting my weightlifting and stuff going. I usually take the first couple weeks, maybe a month, kind of completely off, where like my only physical activity is going and disc golfing and the 2 miles of hiking that comes along with that. Once I get my lifting going, which will be, like I said, within the next week or two, it's pretty much just try to get that strength base, and then I'll start up Pilates and yoga as well to try to work on core and mobility and all that. And then sometime in November, I have to talk with my coach when, but sometime in November we start up with throwing, and then it's kind of just a progression there where it's maybe 2 weeks of light throwing, 3 days a week, and then it turns into more long toss, and then it turns into getting the mound, and then it turns into higher intensity off the mound, and then it turns into spinning the ball off the mound, and pretty much just progresses. But fortunately, I'm you know, able to really have it mapped out early, so we're able to really utilize spring training as well, and I don't have to be throwing 100 miles an hour in January by any means.
And then I have a question for you. I've seen talks about you possibly getting traded this off season or sometime during the season next year with everything going on with the White Sox and stuff. And I saw a couple reports linking you to the Mets. Have you seen anything or heard anything about that?
I haven't. That's the first time I've heard any of that. I know I was hearing all kinds of rumors during last deadline, but no, I haven't heard much in terms of next year.
So let's go ahead and move on to the rapid fire questions real quick. So that we're just going to ask 5 quick questions. First thing that comes to your head, blurt it out, and then we'll go from there. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. First one is, what is your dream car?
Ooh, dream car. Man, I should know this off the top of my head. Um,
I assume you're not driving it right now.
no, I'm definitely that's one thing
Okay.
I haven't spent really on. I can't tell you right now if I have a dream car or not. I really don't. I think an old classic like Shelby Cobra or something like that would be really awesome, but that wouldn't be a daily drive or anything. But maybe yeah, some sort of really really cool old muscle car would be sweet. And then obviously you get something luxurious like a Ferrari or whatever. But as you can tell, I'm not exactly the biggest gearhead.
I was about to say me neither. I like Corvettes and stuff like that. I like McLarens, Lamborghinis, and stuff, but I couldn't tell you a ton about them either.
Yeah.
Next one. If you could bring 3 things with you in a post-apocalyptic situation, what would you bring? And you can think a little bit more on this one.
Well, I gotta have a weapon for sure. So I'm gonna bring a Scar 17, even though I don't really know how to work it. I'm gonna assume in this scenario I've trained a little bit. Uh, and am I allowed to assume that I have ammo with the Scar, or does it have to be my second item?
Yeah, we can just have you assume that. Yeah, if you have the scar, you can be
Okay.
able to. You have to use the weapon.
Okay, fully loaded Scar with ammo. That's item number one. Item number two would be one of those water filtration devices so that I can kind of instantly just drink from a creek or a river because obviously you can't go, a day or two without water. And then item number three, what would item number three be? Probably, probably some sort of fire starter. Um, just I think I could find an area that, even though I've never built a shelter, I've watched a lot of survivor stuff on YouTube. So I'd like to think I could maybe find a little cave or something and take care of shelter that way. So fire would be more challenging. So I'm gonna go with fire.
All right. Next one is, if you could eat one meal the rest of your life, what would it be?
One meal the rest of my life. One meal the rest of my life.
I'll let you know mine. It's pizza. I could eat pizza every single day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Hot or
Pizza.
cold.
I'm probably going. Man, I mean, my first thought is oysters, but I think that probably would get old real quick, and that's not really a meal.
I can't say I've ever
I
tried
could.
oysters.
You've never had oysters? Man, they're
Mm-mm,
delicious.
I've not.
Right ones, but you got to get them from Canada. Those are the best ones.
Okay.
Um, Man, it's tough. Maybe a ribeye steak, but then anything that I have over and over again is going to get old. So it's either a ribeye steak, maybe like a mushroom risotto, or some oysters, something like that.
All right. And then I don't know if you're a gamer, but if you are, console or PC.
Console for sure.
And then off of that, PlayStation or Xbox.
PlayStation.
PlayStation. I'm about to say, what type of
Oh,
games do you like to play? Or do you like playing sports games? Do you like playing shooters? Do you like playing games like Mario and stuff like that? What type of genre do you like?
so there's pretty much three games that I've played within the last couple years, and I'm very on and off with them. Not super consistent. I'm not the biggest gamer, but like right now, Fortnite no build. I'll jump on and play with a couple of my buddies. Uh, Fortnite no build. I got into old school RuneScape for a little bit, but I can't ever stay super consistent with that because I don't know, man. I'm getting older in life, and it's just like I don't feel good about spending that much time on a
I
you know
totally get it.
medieval role playing game, but that one's pretty fun when I get on. What's the third one? Yeah, Fortnite. StarCraft 2 was great, but I haven't played that one in a while. So Fortnite's definitely my go-to right now.
Now, did you play that back when the game first came back out in 2017 when they had season 1 and, like, the original map and everything?
Yeah, I remember one of my buddies where I trained was telling everyone to download it, and I gave it a shot, and I was like, it just seemed like a little kids game, so I didn't get into it, and then it exploded. So I kind of jumped on the bandwagon, but I never really got super into it because I've never been the best at the shooter games or Call of Duty or whatever. So they've never really piqued caught my attention.
And then, last question we'll move on to, if you weren't a professional baseball player, what would you be doing?
Mm, Man, I could go in a lot of different directions with this. I'd either be some sort of entrepreneur, business owner, or maybe a pro disc golfer. Who knows? Maybe an artist.
And then I saw your cat going behind. How many of those cats do you have? Do you have any other animals too, or is it just cats?
Yeah, we got three cats, two Tonkinese, and then a Maine Coon named Henry. Here, buddy. Uh, this guy is this guy is going to be 25, maybe more pounds. He's just a little kitten. He's like 3 months old right now, and he's already the size of a regular cat. Yeah, check these paws out, man. This guy, this is a he's a great cat. Very snuggly.
All right, moving on. I got one question for you that this stuck out when I was doing some research. I saw
Okay.
that your grandma Betty played pro baseball in the 40s. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think she played. I don't know the exact details. I think it was like the Indiana Blue something, maybe the Blue Devils or something like that. I remember seeing her patches and all that. Yeah, the what I was told is she got paid and everything. So it's kind of I think it was either the league like a league of their own, like that kind of league, or something similar. And I guess from what I heard, she was a catcher. So yeah, I guess she played back in the day.
Well, I was doing some research. I'd never heard of any professional baseball for women's. Was it the All American Girls Professional Baseball League? I think that's what a league of its own or a league of their own is what it's based off of. I hadn't seen that movie before, but when I was looking through, I was doing some
You've never
research and I was like,
seen
that's a
you've
really
never
cool
seen
thing.
a league of their own?
I have not. I've not. My dad has. Everyone I've talked to about it since I found this out has seen it, and I haven't. I had no clue it existed.
That is like a top five classic baseball movie. I don't, yeah, that sounds familiar. I don't have a lot of details on it. I don't even know if I mean I could definitely get more details on it. It's basically just you know it's almost like you ever have that with your family where it's like yeah I heard this and then
Mhm.
And she did play baseball for sure, and I'm 90%, it was professional paint and all that, but I don't have, like, a lot of details on it. I just have, like I know that we have, like, her patches and stuff like that from it. You gotta watch A League of Their Own for sure. I mean, that is
It's on my list now. It's on my list.
classic
And then
movie.
speaking of you said it's a top 5 baseball movie. What are your top 5 baseball movies then?
Mm. I mean, I'm sure I'll miss one right now, but Bull Durham's definitely up there. A League of Their Own is definitely up there. I feel like Mr. Baseball is a really underrated classic. Um, Mr. 3000 is a great one, but I don't know if that one's top 5. It's not really like I don't know if that's a classic yet. Rookie of the Year is obviously a classic. Sandlot is a classic. I feel like I'm probably leaving it. I mean, there's a
I'll say,
lot of
what
great
about
ones.
Major League? Ricky Vaughn, Major League?
Yeah, Major League's great. That's great. There's I feel like there's at least 10 that are in that category of, you know, basically must watch if you're a baseball fan. For the love of
Yeah,
the
I
game.
think
Go
yeah,
on.
for love of the game, I was about to say Kevin Costner. I think of baseball movies, and then Field of
Yeah.
Dreams, just all of them. I mean, he is like he's
Oh,
like the
yeah.
king for
I
me.
yeah.
So, I saw that your favorite number growing up was 7 apparently for Mickey Mantle,
Yep.
was that correct? And
Yep.
then did you grow up a Braves fan, or were you a Yankees fan growing up with being in Georgia?
So I grew up a Braves fan, but then I became a really big fan of Alex Rodriguez, and when he got traded to the Yankees, I kinda just jumped in their bandwagon, so I'm a little embarrassed to admit that, but, I mean, it was probably I was a big Braves fan as well, but it was definitely Braves, Yankees, which, you know, it the Braves kinda were the powerhouse of the NL then, and the Yankees were a powerhouse, so it's not really fair to do that, but, it was yeah, that's what I did.
And then with you being on the White Sox, like, do you still cheer for those teams, or is it different now that you're in the MLB, you play for the White Sox?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't root against them or anything. I'm a little indifferent, but, you know, definitely my the allegiance to whatever team I'm on is definitely gonna be number 1.
And then I think in 2017, you got traded to the other team on the other side of Chicago, the White Sox. Made your debut in 2019. What was your debut like? Like, what was the feelings? How were you feeling in that moment when you first got up to the big leagues and you're on that mound first time?
Yeah, nervous. I mean, I remember being at the team hotel, and it was a day game, so, I don't know, I remember being relaxed, but at the same time, it was like I was getting I was getting adrenaline when I was trying to fall asleep kinda thing, so it's all kind of like a whirlwind when I think about it now. I mean, just a lot of really excitement, nervousness, all wrapped into one.
And then from that point on, it seems like each year you're getting better and better. And then obviously in 2022, you finished second in Cy Young to Justin Verlander in the AL. What was that whole season like in general? Just to experience everything. I think you won Player of the Month June and July, or July and August, back to back months too. Like, what was
Yeah,
that season like for you?
yeah, that was fantastic. I mean, it was like just everything was going well. I knew where my slider was going every single time I threw it, so I could fall behind 2-0 and just throw 3 sliders exactly where I needed to throw them. Um, I was locked in, man. It was like probably over 20 straight starts where I just had great feel, and it's like your A stuff and your A feel coming together and just leading to really exceptional results. So that year for me, it was just I don't know, man. It was a big confidence booster just to know that hey, if you you know you can do this in the major leagues. It's one of those things where until you do it, it's hard to believe. I think.
Well, and then you just see the potential you have too, and then obviously teams look at you as, I mean, obviously that verified you as an ace and everything. We took a little dip this past season, but I do want to hit at the end of 2022. You almost had a no hitter, 8 and 2/3
Yeah.
innings. Like, what was that whole game like? And then what did that feel like when that all happened at the very end? Like, what was going through your head throughout that whole game?
Yeah, I mean, I remember it wasn't necessarily my best stuff of the season. Like I don't even know if I had a strikeout through 5, maybe I had 1. It was something like that where I was just getting a lot of, like, early contact outs, and then I remember stepping on the gas and kinda finding that next gear where I went from maybe throwing 95, 96 to 7, 8, 9. And then once I got to the 6th and 7th, it was kinda like turning to closer mode where I was just giving it max effort every pitch, and, yeah, unfortunately, I was dumb and I decided to go after a rise instead of just walking him, but I don't know, man. In the moment, it's like I just wanted to attack. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't. I was just doing what I had done the whole game, which was attack, and it was leading to outs. So, um, in a sense, like it's always great to have that mindset. And but I think if I was a little smarter with how I pitched to him, I probably end up with the no hitter. But maybe I'll learn from that, and if I'm in that situation again, I can think a little bit clearer about it.
So I want to move on to something different. I want to do some hobby type stuff.
Okay.
I saw on your Instagram you've done some fishing and stuff. Are you into fishing, or is that just a thing you go do here and there?
Yeah, actually, I'm not. I like fishing. I wouldn't say I can't consider it a hobby because I don't exactly know what I'm doing with it. I'd love to learn more about it. I went and fished with Andrew Vaughn during the year, and it was fantastic. Really enjoyable, but I can't quite consider it a hobby until I get some more skill at it, I think.
Um, I'm trying to think. Is there any other things that you are into, like music wise, vacations? Do you like TV shows, movies? I just have a list of stuff that if I don't know if you're into or you want to talk about, since we kind of are in the Q&A session at this point. So
Uh, what am I into? Man, I love YouTube. If that adds anything.
you love
Um,
YouTube. So is like did
well,
what just watching YouTubers make you want to do your own channel, or like what got you into watching YouTube and liking YouTube?
yeah, kind of honestly. It's my buddy Paul's got one of those 100,000 subscriber plaques, and I think that's really cool. I just like that I can learn anything instantly. Like if I want to go see how cigars are made, I can go in there and see them grown and see who blends them, and learn anything. So it's yeah, I'm more of a YouTube guy than I am like a Netflix or any of those other shows.
Now, you have a YouTube channel. Have you ever wanted to, like, do content creation like that? Do you enjoy doing that? Or, like, when you upload those videos, were you filming and editing, or how did you do this?
Yeah, it was so I want to say I think my twin brother actually edited it, which is cool because he didn't really know how to do that, and he was able to figure that out. Yeah, having a YouTube channel would be great. I don't know, it's kind of one of those things though, like baseball, where during the year we're in such the public eye that you know I don't know, you have a bad start, and then everyone's giving you a hard time about it and all that, and you're like, I don't know. I mean, it would definitely be interesting to have a channel. I just don't know if I don't know if I'd be able to do it during the season. I don't know. There's some stuff with it. I don't know if I'd be able to make it happen. But like I said, like doing something where I time lapsed some paintings I've done, or some other disc golf or whatever. I do some things that are interesting and kind of unique, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to share with the world quite yet.
I must say, I think that there's more, I guess I don't know, I feel like when you watch baseball and stuff, you just see them as an athlete. I feel like there's more like nerdier baseball players out there than what you think. Because I interviewed Nick
Absolutely.
Solak, and he was super into to gaming and stuff too. It's just like when you talk to these players and stuff, you figure out like things are like, oh, like they're normal human beings too, and they have their own things they like to do outside of baseball. It's not just a baseball player.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I think I have today. I think that was good, and I appreciate you coming on. That was a fun time.
Definitely, man. Good times.